We're talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars Episode 8 trailer, which was shown at Orlando Star Wars Celebration this week.
Yeah.
So you actually just watched it.
Yes.
Literally before we started recording.
Yeah.
Let's go through it. What were your questions in your head? What did you think to it as soon as you saw the trailer?
I've only just watched it, but I can only remember two bits.
Go on, what are the two bits?
Where Daisy Ridley's got a hand on the floor and there's gravel rising up and stuff. And then at the end where Luke says, it's time for the Jedi to end.
Mm-hmm. Which I think, because he holds that, doesn't he? He goes, it's time for the Jedi. And when I first saw it, I thought we were going to say, rise. And then, dun, 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 but it doesn't, it's like, end.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, is like you said, is Luke Skywalker a baddie?
Maybe he's fallen into darkness.
Well, I've got a theory about it. Because she mentions the light. She mentions yes. Turning to Sean Connery. She mentions the light. She mentions I can't speak the dark. Now makes me wonder that because it's always about the balance, and she even mentions she can see the balance as well.
Yeah.
Now, is Luke actually the balance where he's actually got the light and he actually understands and accepts the dark side of the Force? So then there's he's almost in between, and if you think about it, every time there's Jedi around, it always seems to create darkness because there always has to be a balance. So if there's light, there has to be dark.
Yeah.
So when there's Jedi, there's Sith, and then that causes confrontation and people die. If there's the Sith, the Jedi appear, and that causes confrontation and people die. Now, what happens if there's neither? There's no Sith, there's no Jedi, there's just the grey in the middle?
Yeah, but you have to get rid of both for that to happen.
Well, apparently Snoke is not a Sith.
Right.
And neither is Kylo Ren. They're just Dark Force users.
Right.
Now, admittedly, they're not Sith, but they're also not Jedi. Now, are they starting to come down this path of the middle, but just doing bad things?
I don't know, they look pretty evil to me.
No, yeah, he did kill his dad, which, spoiler. Whose father? Your father? Not my father.
You can't really put that in. You have to just beep that bit out.
Oh, come on, he's been out for 2 years.
Yeah, but there might be still some people like, I'm not watching it till they're all out, and then that's their own fault. Yeah, he kills Han.
Han who?
Han YOLO? I don't know.
So it's kind of creating a lot of, because the idea was that when obviously the original trilogy finished, Luke was the Hope. He was the New Hope, which obviously bans from the first film, and he creates this essence that he's defeated the Emperor. He managed to turn his father back to the light, and he starts from fresh.
Right, but has he been on the island for all those years?
No, he then started up the Jedi Academy after Return of the Jedi.
Where was that?
We don't know yet. It's probably going to be shown in this one because we do see a burning wreckage in the trailer, and you see a cloaked person drop to his knees next to R2.
Was Ren there as well?
No, there was. I'll probably put a couple of screenshots up if I can remember to do it in post. There's R2, and then there's the cloaked figure drops to his knees. But then there's another shot of Captain Phasma with some other troopers or somebody next to him walking out of the flames. So whether or not that's the Jedi Temple, and Luke then comes back and discovers that everybody's been killed and is on fire, or
maybe he gets wounded and somehow gets away.
Maybe, and he somehow in the first in The Force Awakens, it's mentioned that he goes in search of the first Jedi Temple.
Yes,
which I presume is where he is now,
and that's
where Ren. Yeah. And then if you think back to the trailer, there's actually a symbol that she put. A hand goes over. She mentions the light. She mentions the dark, and the balance. And at that point, there's like a little symbol of a lightsaber, and she puts a hand over it, and that's a book, and that's a symbol of the Jedi. So whether or not he's discovered maybe a book which is giving teachings and discovers where actually the Jedi originate from and how they came to being, and something along those lines, and where it's made his decision that the Jedi don't need to exist anymore because it causes problems. They don't need to be there anymore.
Maybe when he says the Jedi need to end, maybe he's going to start a new organisation.
Could be. I'm just thinking like a new organisation, the Jedi Limited, LTD.
It could be the ex-Jedi mercenary corp. I don't know.
To hire,
Yeah.
do weddings, funerals.
hit jobs.
But no, the one thing that it'd be interesting to see, because it could be an arc story with Luke that, I'm going a lot of theories here, or throwing out, is maybe Luke has lost his way and he believes the Jedi no longer should exist, but then with Rey appearing and saying, listen, you need to teach me, Kylo Ren, your nephew, is basically causing utter issues with Snoke, you need to teach me the ways of the Force. And it could be an arc for him that he starts believing in the Jedi again himself because of her. And at the end, she redeems his faith within the Jedi because how good she is.
I wonder what role Carrie Fisher will play in the 8th film.
It'll be interesting to see, because all her scenes were filmed for Episode 8, but they weren't filmed, obviously, for Episode 9.
They've said that she won't be in number 9. So.
I hope they do a justice, because it'd be bad if it were just like, oh, she died from here to there, Princess Leia's character, which is awkward, obviously, because she never filmed it.
Yeah, they might have to do the
CGI?
Yeah.
Well, I know Disney originally turned around and said that they weren't going to do that out of respect, but apparently, if I read out different news, it could be fake news, but different information's been released, and apparently her brother has actually given Disney his blessing to use Carrie's likeness for CGI or lookalike actors to play. So, because he said that his sister would want the character of Princess Leia to have a proper arc and finish the character off. Yeah. Because she was a big fan of Star Wars herself. She loved the films.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So it would be interesting to see how they do plan with her character. 'Cause obviously, I think if they had a crystal ball and would see what would happen, they might have probably swapped what happened to Harrison Ford's character Han Solo with Carrie Fisher's, obviously.
That's this Christmas, isn't it?
That will be coming out in December of this year. Star Wars: not The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
Yes.
Which is Episode 8. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I think so.
What did you actually? I don't know if we've actually properly discussed this. What do you think to the originals and the prequels then? In brief, what do what's your thoughts on them?
I quite like the originals. Yeah, they were pretty good. I like the Hoth one. Is that the Empire Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back, my personal favourite.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
A lot of people's personal favourites as well. So what do you think to the prequels?
Yeah.
That's Tom's thoughts on the prequels. Yeah, they happened. They were released and they earned a lot of money.
I think Snoke is Darth Jar Jar.
Darth Jar Jar. Just had his ears snipped off.
Well, they didn't really show what happened to him, did they?
No, that's true. Oh, actually,
and then maybe
I think it was mentioned in Star Wars Rebels. No, in a book.
I think he was in a horrendous fire and then he burnt his nose off in his head and he looks like Snoke.
No, I think there's... Jesus Christ. Apparently he's been mentioned in a book what happened to him. He actually went into seclusion and mass depression. Seriously?
Oh, God.
Because he was the one who gave the Emperor full powers, or he put the motion forward for the Emperor to have full power of control over the Galactic Senate.
Yeah.
And he was the one who did it in the Clone Wars. And apparently, because of everything that happened, he went into isolation and seclusion because he couldn't believe what he'd done. There you go. Jar Jar ends up having to go see a therapist.
Well, maybe everyone hated him so much, and then they've written up a really, really bad story for him.
I know. Obviously, I've never read that book, but I hope he redeems himself at the end. Like, takes on a load of stormtroopers himself, and just goes bye bye.
You might just see his feet dangling, and it.
Oh my God!
I know.
He's actually just hanging from the ceiling, just like changing a light bulb or something. He's like, yeah, I know. Oh God, Jar Jar. Oh, someone's going, yes! Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
that took a bit of a dark turn, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on Star Wars Episode 8 trailer. Let us know what you think to this trailer. Do you think it showed too much? Do you think it didn't show enough? Are you concerned? Or are you really looking forward to the new film that's going to come out in December? Let us know down in the comments below, or tweet us. We would really like to know what you think.
Sorry, one thing. You said you want Jar Jar to redeem himself. Does that mean you want him in the new film?
I meant in a book, which you choose to read out of the way. We do not need to see him ever again. In fact, I think he's probably dead.
Yeah, young himself.
No, I mean about old age. How long did he last? I don't know.
I don't know.